Hey, this is Allie Edwards for Scrapbook.com, and today I want to introduce you to 3 of my favorite new stamps from Technique Tuesday. The first stamp set I want to introduce to you today is called Dear Time, and it is a great font-based stamp set. It's got a variety of different sentiments here. Most of the time when I am creating stamps, I like stamps that have words with them, because for me, words can usually be a part of the story. So I just want to give you kind of an example of what these stamps look like. The sentiments say things like, "Dear Time, please slow down even just a tiny bit." Most of you can probably understand that sentiment. The best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. That's a great quote from Abraham Lincoln. Crazy, just crazy how very fast time flies. And time brings all things to pass. So we've got a fun selection, and then we've included a clock and an arrow, a couple different arrows, and a little swirly line there as well. Let me just show you. Very, super simple stamping here. I don't do a lot of crazy techniques with stamping. I just do it usually pretty plain and simple. That's kind of just the kind of stamper I am. If I do anything crazy, it would usually be just embossing. I like clear or silver embossing. Just pressing down evenly, and you can see a great setup just like that. Usually something like this, you could add your photo right here on the side, or you could cut it out even. Here's an idea for you to add to your next layout. Use your scissors or a trimmer and maybe even get in there kind of tight so that you're going to have one nice big long strip. And you could add additional journaling down below. Got one of my pens here. Something like, "Love you so very much," blah, 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 right down. That you could even add drawing lines to add a little bit more personalization to the stamps, and then add this next to a photo on your layout. So a really fun set, Dear Time, and those are available now. The next stamp set I want to introduce you to is called Good Day, and this could be my actual favorite of all of the new releases. I've long been a big fan of circle stamps, or circles in general, as accents on my pages. So we've got some really simple sentiments: good day, hello life, love you, love this one, hello today, and then a few additional little words on there as well that can work as great accents in addition to the circles. The layout that you'll see featured here, this is a little 8x8 layout that is a full photo background. So I printed out the photo. I actually did that at home on my printer, and then used that as the foundation for my page. In addition to that background photo, I added some text, or my journaling was added in Photoshop and then placed on there before I actually printed the whole picture. But you can see the stamp is used with some orange ink up above, and I've used some foam dots to pop it up off the page. And I also added some great little stars from Jenny Bolin to just kind of emphasize the idea of evening and this whole concept of looking at my kids in their bedroom. The love was handwritten and then cut out with the silhouette using craft cardstock. So great way to use some of your photos as backgrounds, and then a great way to use those new circle stamps as well. The next stamp I wanted to feature and share with you today is called The Story Of, and this is a great stamp set for creating your own little journaling block. And as you can see, it's got a variety of different words, and then it has this big square. So let's go ahead and I will show you how I would use this myself. First, you're going to start with the background. So this is kind of a stamp set that obviously you're going to have a couple different steps. Now this part in and of itself, the background part with the lines, you could definitely use that on its own for lots of different things. But let's get some good coverage on there. I'm using Color Box inks. This one's called Espresso. And I'm going to stamp it right onto the white cardstock. Press it down. And I'm kind of one of those imperfect stampers too, so if it comes out and it's not you know, the lines aren't all the way filled in and that sort of thing. That's not a huge deal to me. I kind of just decide that I'm going to make it work. So now what you can choose then on the other stamps here, the story of this is kind of the main thing. So I'd be placing that, and I'll show you that in a second. And then you can choose one of these other pieces to go in there. I'm going to say hello. Let's see, the story of this day is probably what I'm going to do. So when you're using these, you can do them at the same time, or you could do different ones. I'm going to go ahead and do them all together. Just lining that up, adding right on there. I like stamps like this that have a little bit of variety to them, that they can be used in different ways. You know, it's not always the story of this day. Sometimes it can be the story of this week, or the story of this evening, or the story of this night. It gives you a little more flexibility in terms of using the design. And it fits nicely right inside that box. Go ahead and stamp that in there. Just like that. And so again, you could choose other ones like the hello. It could be hello morning, hello evening. These are the sorts of stories that I like to tell in general about life, focusing on, you know, the times of the day and just everyday life stories. Those I find are the most interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this out. You could use this for something like a Project Life or divided page protector projects, or just add it on next to a photo. You could add in another stamped word if you wanted, like maybe you want to include what the month is. Let me show you that as well. Have that little guy on there. Fingers are going to get messy here. Okay. So like you could add in, turn around so I've got my orientation right here, like a month. And then you could add a little bit about what's happening. Let's say month is, I'm trying to figure out what month are we in? We're in, let's see, March. And then you could just write generic, you know, today was one of those awesome days I want to remember. Now, usually I'd want to get a little more specific too with my journaling, but for this example, you can kind of see how cool these would be, you know, paired with the photo, paired with a bunch of different photos. I could see like a whole page of photos, and then this laid right on top with a little bit of information about what was happening within those photos. So that set again is called The Story Of, and that's now available.